I close my eyes and I can see the world that's waiting out for me, that I call my own. Through the dark, through the door, through where no one's been before, but it feels like home.
They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say I've lost my mind. I don't care, so call me crazy. We can live in a world that we decide.
'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest color fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make.
There's a house we can build. Every room inside is filled with things from far away. Special things I compile, each one that'll make you smile on a rainy day.
They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say we've lost our mind. I don't care if they call us crazy. Run away to a world that we decide.
Every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams, all it's gonna take.
A million dreams for the world we're gonna make. However big, however small, let me be part of it all. Share your dreams with me. You may be right, you may be wrong, but say that you'll bring me along to the world you see, to the world I close my eyes to see. I close my eyes to see.
Every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head.
A million dreams are giving me
A million dreams, a million dreams.
what the world could be,
A vision of the one I see.
a million dreams is all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make.
For the world we're gonna make.
For the world we're gonna make. You cheated again.
my heart. I don't know how many times. Oh, you don't know what to say. You made me so desperately in love, and now you let me down. You say you'll never lie again. You say this time will be so right, but then I find you lying there by her side. Oh, you tore my whole life so blue, drowning me so deep. I just can't reach myself again. Oh, you successfully tore my heart. Now it's only pieces. Oh, nothing left but pieces of you. Oh, oh, baby. Oh, you frustrated me with this love. I've been trying to understand. You know I'm trying. Oh, you, I don't know what to say. You made me so desperately in love, and now you let me down. You say you'll never lie again. You say this time will be so right, but then I find you lying there by her side. Oh, you tore my whole life so blue, drowning me so deep. I just can't reach myself again. Oh, you successfully tore my heart. Now it's only pieces. Oh, nothing left but pieces of you. You tore my whole life so blue, drowning me so deep. I just can't reach myself again. Oh, you successfully tore my heart. Now it's only pieces. Oh, nothing left but pieces of you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat pagi, salam sejahtera bagi kita semua. Yang terhormat Kepala Bagian Umum Kantor Wilayah DJPJ Jawa Timur 1, yang kami hormati para pejabat administrator, para pejabat pengawas, pejabat fungsional, serta rekan-rekan yang berbahagia. Pertama-tama, marilah kita panjatkan puji syukur kehadirat Tuhan Yang Maha Esa, karena atas limpahan rahmat-Nya kita semua dapat berkumpul di sini di pagi yang cerah ini secara virtual dalam acara English Class dengan tema Enriching Vocabularies and Conversation in the Airport. Izinkanlah saya Fahrunisa selaku MC untuk memandu jalannya acara pada pagi hari ini. Baik Bapak dan Ibu sekalian, sebelum memulai acara, marilah kita berdoa menurut agama dan kepercayaan masing-masing agar acara ini berjalan dengan lancar dan membawa manfaat bagi kita semua. Berdoa dimulai. Berdoa dapat diakhiri. Baik Bapak dan Ibu sekalian, memasuki acara yang pertama yaitu pemutaran Mars Direktorat Jenderal Bea dan Cukai, dilanjutkan dengan pembacaan sikap dasar Direktorat Jenderal Bea dan Cukai. Para hadirin dimohon menyaksikan dengan hikmat.
Bea dan cukai naungan kita.
tegaknya martabat bangsa. Jadikan budi pekerti, pribadi penuh karisma, memegang teguh komitmen kita bersama. Wajibkan sifat sahaja, menambah empati masa, berkarya menuju kejayaan masa. Gerakan segala daya dan upaya, berbakti untuk ibu pertiwi. Modal semangat, profesionalisme, efisiensi dan pelayanan. Bea Cukai kebanggaanku, visimu jalari jiwaku, misimu aliri darahku, strategimu derap langkahku. Puji untuk Tuhan yang Esa, sembahkan bakti adipura, dan amanah kita tugaskan. Wajib terus bea dan cukai.
Sikap dasar Direktorat Jenderal Bea dan Cukai. 1. Jujur. Setiap pegawai Direktorat Jenderal Bea dan Cukai harus melakukan tugas dengan benar, dapat dipercaya, baik dalam perkataan ataupun perbuatan sesuai standar peraturan yang berlaku.
2. Loyal. Setiap pegawai Direktorat Jenderal Bea dan Cukai harus memberikan dukungan penuh serta memiliki komitmen yang tinggi untuk berkontribusi terhadap kemajuan organisasi atau institusi dengan cara bekerja secara sungguh-sungguh demi menjaga nama baik organisasi atau institusi.
3. Korsa. Setiap pegawai Direktorat Jenderal Bea dan Cukai harus mempunyai rasa memiliki dan rasa kebersamaan di antara pegawai dalam rangka melaksanakan tugas.
4. Inisiatif. Setiap pegawai Direktorat Jenderal Bea dan Cukai harus mampu menyelesaikan permasalahan pekerjaan atau memberikan solusi tanpa menunggu adanya perintah demi terwujudnya pengawasan dan pelayanan yang lebih baik.
5. Korektif. Setiap pegawai Direktorat Jenderal Bea dan Cukai harus senantiasa mau mengakui, mengingatkan, serta memperbaiki kesalahan orang lain untuk perubahan ke arah yang lebih baik.
Baik Bapak dan sekalian, acara selanjutnya yaitu keynote speech yang akan disampaikan oleh Kepala Bagian Umum Kantor Wilayah di Baik Bapak dan sekalian, acara selanjutnya yaitu keynote speech yang akan disampaikan langsung oleh Kepala Bagian Umum Kantor Wilayah di JPJ Jawa Timur 1. Kepada Ibu Lenika, kami silahkan.
Baik, terima kasih Mbak Nisa atas kesempatan yang diberikan. Mohon izin Bapak Ibu, rekan-rekan sekalian, apakah suara saya terdengar dengan jelas?
Siap, sudah terdengar jelas Ibu.
Baik. Yang terhormat, para pejabat dan pegawai di lingkungan kantor wilayah DJBC Jawa Timur 1. Yang terhormat, Mbak Ani Nadia atau Mbak Nina selaku narasumber dalam kegiatan pelatihan bahasa Inggris di edisi yang kedua pada pagi hari ini. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat pagi dan salam sejahtera untuk kita semua. Alhamdulillah, segala puja dan puji syukur, mari sama-sama kita panjatkan kehadirat Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, Tuhan yang Maha Kuasa, karena atas rahmat, ridho, dan kasih sayangnya, kita diizinkan berkumpul pada pagi hari ini secara virtual untuk bersama-sama menyimak sekaligus berdiskusi dalam kegiatan pelatihan bahasa Inggris sebagai bagian dari rangkaian kegiatan yang diselenggarakan oleh komunitas bahasa Inggris Kanwil DJBC Jawa Timur 1. yang saat ini saya mendapat informasi bahwa sudah ada nama ya. Namanya adalah B1. Brilliant English is Java 1. Senang sekali rasanya membersamai rekan-rekan para pecinta bahasa Inggris, para anggota komunitas bahasa Inggris, penggiat komunitas ini, sehingga agenda kedua dari sesi pelatihan yang diselenggarakan oleh komunitas B1 ini bisa terlaksana pada hari ini. Saya ucapkan terima kasih kepada Mbak Nina yang kembali bersedia membersamai kita untuk hari ini membahas dan mendiskusikan serta berbagi materi kemudian mendiskusikan dengan rekan-rekan sekalian mengenai bagaimana sih cara kita memperkaya vocabulary dan percakapan di bandara. Sebagai pegawai bea dan cukai, kita memang memiliki tugas untuk memberikan pelayanan kepada masyarakat dan pengguna jasa di bandara internasional. Dan di Kanwil DJBJ Jawa Timur 1 ada Bandara Juanda. Sehingga kompetensi atau kemampuan bahasa Inggris kita ketika memberikan pelayanan pada saat kita ditugaskan di bandara ini amat penting. Oleh karena itu, materi atau tema yang diangkat pada pelatihan kali ini sangat tepat untuk memperkaya kompetensi dan kecakapan kita. Di sisi lain, keberadaan B1 sebagai salah satu komunitas yang ada di Kanwil DJBJ Jawa Timur 1 ini juga merupakan sebuah terobosan dari Kanwil DJBJ Jawa Timur 1 beserta seluruh satker di bawahnya untuk mengembangkan kompetensi pegawai dengan berbasis komunitas. Saat ini ada 3 komunitas, tapi saya harapkan setelah ini juga akan ada komunitas-komunitas lain yang juga mendukung peningkatan kompetensi pegawai. Selain B1, ada juga Klausa, Komunitas Literasi Bea Cukai Jawa Timur 1, dan ada juga MCCOM, Komunitas Pembawa Acara Kanwil DJBJ Jawa Timur 1. Saya yakin potensi dan kemampuan seluruh pegawai di lingkungan Kanwil DJBJ Jawa Timur 1 ini amat beragam dan perlu mendapat ruang dan peluang untuk dikembangkan. Selamat mengikuti kegiatan pelatihan bahasa Inggris di edisi kedua ini. Semoga apa yang kita dapatkan pada pagi hari ini bermanfaat untuk diri sendiri, bermanfaat untuk kebaikan institusi, dan bermanfaat pula untuk kebaikan negeri kita, Indonesia tercinta. Salam hangat dari Kepala Kantor Wilayah DJBJ Jawa Timur 1 untuk semuanya. Tetap semangat dan mari kita tunjukkan kepada dunia bahwa kita pantas menjadi anggota keluarga besar Kanwil DJBJ Jawa Timur 1, layak menjadi anggota keluarga besar Direktorat Jenderal Bea dan Cukai, dan layak menjadi punggawa dana raksa untuk mendukung Kementerian Keuangan yang maju, tangguh, bermartabat, dan terpercaya. Mohon maaf bila ada salah kata dan salah sikap. Akhirul kalam, saya akhiri sambutan saya dengan mengucapkan Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Billahi taufik wal hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Dan selamat pagi, salam sejahtera untuk kita semua.
Terima kasih Ibu Lenika atas keynote speech yang luar biasa yang telah disampaikan, yang menambah semangat kita untuk belajar pada pagi hari ini. Sebelum memasuki acara inti, mari kita bersama-sama foto bersama terlebih dahulu. Mohon izin kepada Bapak dan Ibu sekalian, kami mohon untuk dapat mengaktifkan kameranya dan memberikan senyum terbaiknya. Kami hitung dalam hitungan 3, 2, 1. Mohon izin, satu kali lagi, kami hitung dalam hitungan 3, 2, 1. Baik, terima kasih Bapak dan sekalian. Selanjutnya kita memasuki acara inti, yaitu English Class dengan tema Enriching Vocabularies and Conversation in the Airport, yang akan dipandu langsung oleh Miss Hafifah Ani Nadia, atau biasa kita panggil Miss Nina. Hi Miss Nina, how are you today?
Hello everyone, how are you today? I'm very good and very excited to have this kind of meeting.
Okay, are you ready to deliver your insight about vocabularies and conversation in the airport?
Here we can have the discussion now.
Okay, thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Miss Hafifah Ani Nadia.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Sure.
Is my voice clear?
Your
Okay.
voice is clear.
Okay, let me share my screen first before we start. Okay, good morning to all of you. How are you today? I hope that you are doing great on this morning. And thank you for Miss Leni Ika for delivering your opening speech. I'm very excited to have you today to opening our discussion. And I also see many potential in your first video music. I feel that you guys are having so much potential in singing and in music. So especially it's delivered in English. So I can feel the energy and I can feel your, supportive on this meeting. So for any one of you who hasn't known me before, my name is Nina. You can call me Nina. I'm working in the Ministry of Village, and I'm also an English graduate from the Gajah Mada University, and I'm so glad to meet all of you on the second meeting today. So last month, it's not last month, in the end of July, we meet on the first meeting and we'll talk about how to introduce yourself. So now we will enrich the knowledge and also the lesson today by moving into another level of conversation and vocabularies. So for this morning meeting, I choose the topic and enriching vocabularies and conversation in the airport, because I know that for the customer size, or we call it bea cukai, it's also important to know how to speak to the passenger and to the customer in the airport, because I know that some of you are working in the workplace, in the office, but probably some of you also work in the airport. So you may have the chance to have the opportunity to meet other people. Okay, before we continue, I will say a greeting to Bapak Kepala Kantor Wilayah Bea Cukai Jawa Timur Kanwil 1. Selamat pagi Bapak. Thank you for joining this meeting. Okay, so we move to the next. Okay. From the last meeting, we know that I talk about the importance of English business and how we can apply to the workplace. So probably some of you thought that English is not a very vital or important things to do, because we don't use English in every daily basis of our work, because we know that we use Bahasa Indonesia all the time, and we think that English is not very important. But for some of the people that working aside the foreigner, and we met a lot of people from the outside the country, we need to communicate with them. So that's why I think that every person, every people that are working in some kind of workplace need to learn English. Oh, I'm sorry that I forgot to mention selamat pagi untuk Bapak Kepala Kantor Bea Cukai Juanda. That you're present here, Bapak Himawan. Good morning. I hope that you have a very wonderful day and a wonderful time to join us in this kind of opportunity. Okay, let's continue to the main agenda. So this I write here, English for Business, is not about only having conversation with foreigner, with people, but there are many kind of topic for English for business. It's including small talks and requests. How do we write requests for another people? Probably we will meet or passenger or customer from another country that we need to write a request letter from them. It is also included in English business. We will also learn about the asking for confirmations, or kita tahu sebagai nota dinas. Nota dinas itu adalah a type of asking for confirmation in English. So how to write asking for confirmation letter, it's also included in English for business. And then public speaking, we know that public speaking is a very good idea or very good media to deliver. How do we feel and how do we will deliver that we need to deliver. And then the most important thing is about customer service, because we know that customer size are facing so many foreigner from abroad, outside the country, not only from inside the country, but you will meet passengers or customer from different countries. So we need to learn how to adapt, how to service the customers. And the last one, we will also, in English for business, we will also talk about the progress report. Progress reports, or we call it laporan akhir atau laporan progress. Every workplace, every office is having a different timeline of having a progress report. In my office, we also have progress report, and we report that every beginning of the month. So this is also vital and important to English for business. So before we continue to the matter or to the main agenda of today, that we were going to talk about vocabularies and conversation in the airport, I want to remind you again about what we learned from the last meeting. We learned about introducing yourself to other people.
Mohon izin Bapak dan sekalian, sepertinya ada sedikit kendala teknis dari narasumber kita, yaitu Miss Nina. Meneruskan percakapan sebelumnya dari Miss Nina. Miss Nina.
So introducing yourself is a very good start.
Mohon izin Bapak dan Ibu, mungkin kita beri sedikit waktu kepada Miss Nina untuk menyelesaikan kendala teknis yang dialami. Di sini meneruskan percakapan dari Miss Nina tadi, ingin mereview kembali insight atau pelajaran yang kita dapat pada previous meeting di pertemuan sebelumnya, yaitu introducing yourself. Mungkin dari Bapak dan sekalian di sini ada yang ingin ditanyakan kembali, bagaimana caranya memperkenalkan diri kepada penumpang di airport dengan sopan atau dengan proper. Kami persilakan Bapak dan sekalian, sambil menunggu Miss Nina yang sedang mengalami kendala teknis, mari kita bersama-sama sharing knowledge, apa yang kita dapat dari previous meeting sebelumnya, atau mungkin ada Bapak dan Ibu yang tidak menghadiri meeting sebelumnya dan ada salah satu yang mau menjelaskan atau mereview kembali, kami persilakan. Atau Miss Nina sudah bisa melanjutkan materinya?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Can you guys hear me? I'm so sorry. Yeah, I'm so sorry that we have technical problems here because our ministry just had a fire. So the signal here is not very good, but I will continue to the lesson. I'm so sorry for the problems. Okay. Okay, so I hear Miss Nisa is talking about last month's lesson about introducing yourself. And that's very good. If I will provide you time in the end of the session to introduce yourself, or maybe to talk about the material today. But before that, I will continue the lessons. Okay, before we continue, I will share about this one. This is a very important skills that probably you need to know, that English is having 4 important skills. It is including listening, reading, speaking, and writing. These 4 skills, maybe you guys already know and already recognize that, because in any kind of English test, you will understand this, and you will experience this in TOEFL or maybe TOEIC or maybe IELTS. These 4 skills are including in the test. So these 4 skills are divided into 2 different kind of skills, which is passive skills or input, and also active skill or output. So if we see here, I make a difference in this side, right or left. So listening and reading here is included into passive skill, where you receive input or receive information. So when you learn English by listening to the music or to the video or to any kind of media, it means that you receive an information, receive an input. So that's why it's called passive skill, because you receive an information or input. It is same with the reading. When you read a book, when you read magazine, or when you read any kind of printed media, it means that you are using your passive skill, where you having input from the magazine or the book that you read. It differs from the speaking and writing. Speaking and writing here is considered as the active skill, where you produce the input. So different. Passive skills is where you receive an input, and active skills is where you produce the output. So by speaking and writing into some kind of writing, it means that you're using your active skill to speak. You produce an information for anyone there that you're talking about. When you speak and talk, it means that you are delivering your presentation. You're delivering what you feel and what you understand and what you want to speak. And this 4 skill, it's not a transferred skill. So just because you are able to listen and to read something in English, it doesn't mean that you are automatically able to speak. So just because your English passive skill is strong enough, you feel that your English passive skill on listening and reading is strong enough that you feel that you're confident in listening and reading, it doesn't mean that you are automatically can speak in English. There is something that you need to learn again when you need to speak in English. I understand that us, Indonesia, for Indonesian, English is not our mother language. It means that English is not the language that we use on daily basis. So to speak in English, it needs skills and it needs we need a confidence. So I understand that maybe some of you are still afraid to speak, even though that we are able to listen and we are able to read some kind of books. We understand when we hear native speakers speak in front of you, we can understand, but you cannot speak. Why is that? So there are some kind of strategies that I want to tell you for, but one of them, the very good strategies how to train your speaking skill and writing skills is by using it every day. I understand that it's so difficult for us to speak English every day because not any one of us is understand when we speak English, but if we train hard and we if you have a program maybe in your office in Wednesday or in Thursday, we use English and we do it routine as our daily, you will it will improve your English active skill in speaking and writing. And that's one. Okay, the next one is vocabularies. Before we move into our lesson about the conversation in airport, we need to understand that enriching your vocabularies is important because vocabularies is the basic of the language. If you want to speak English, you need to know the vocabularies that you want to use to speak. So here vocabularies represent of one of the important skills necessary for teaching and learning foreign language. So not only English, if you want to study Spanish or maybe French or maybe Mandarin, you also need to know the vocabulary first before you want to speak that language. Okay, so for us to learn vocabularies, it's probably feel that it's so hard and so difficult to find time to when we should learn vocabularies. Vocabularies, it's an easy thing to do. Why can I say that? Because vocabularies, we can find it everywhere that we go. I have tips for you guys to how to learn vocabularies fast and how to learn vocabularies in a very fun way. The first one is, if you want to learn vocabularies, you have to mind your location and situations. If you are in the airport, it's the vocabularies will differ when you were in the restaurant or when you were in the hotel or when you were in the beach. So in different location and situation, you will have different vocabularies that you will have. By listening to the music, it also can enrich your vocabularies. By reading books, paper, magazine, or news, in the television is also can enrich your vocabularies. And the tips for you is also to always have your dictionaries. It's not always you don't always need a printed dictionaries. You can have the application of dictionaries on your phone, in your laptop. It depends what you like. And the last one, to remember all of the vocabularies that you receive, you need to write down in a notebook. For example, today I went to the to my office. So on the way home, I will write, I went to the office with my friends and then I had lunch in the restaurant. So in this kind of phrase, in this kind of sentence, I will find many kind of vocabularies: restaurant, went, my friends, and that things I will write down in a notebook. And then if I don't understand what is the meaning of that, I will search that in the dictionary. So probably in your way on home, you want to go home, and in your way that you see many kind of things, living things or non-living things that you don't know what is the meaning in English. So I hope that you can write it down in your notebook, and then you will search the meaning of it in a dictionary. It can help you to understand and enrich your vocabulary more. This is the media that I mentioned before. Learning vocabularies is you have to mind the location and situation that you have been. Okay, this is the vocabularies. I found some of the vocabularies that we can use, and we can find it in the airport. I found 56 of them. You can write it, or maybe if you are having another vocabularies except of this one that I write, you can write it in your notebook, and then you can speak and you can talk to us later. Here, in the 56 of the vocabularies, I understand that you probably know some of them, but you probably not know some of them again. And to speak in English, beside the vocabularies, we need to understand also the pronunciation of the word of the vocabulary itself. That can enrich and that can improve your English speaking skill to be better. So the first one here I write, in this word, it's written Isley, but actually it is pronounced Isle. So English words is sometimes different and how we speak, on how we pronounce that. So you have to learn about it by listening or by looking at into dictionary to know precisely how to speak, how to say the word correctly. For example, again, number 24, it's there is written QUA, but it's actually just pronounced at the Q. So as simple as that. So we need to learn about that. Okay, this 56 vocabularies we will learn, and we will move into conversation that we can use this kind of vocabulary. We can find this vocabulary in a conversation in the airport. Now we move into the speaking zone. This speaking zone okay. There are some comments in the chat. I will probably answer that later, but first let me continue the presentation first, if you don't mind. Okay, we are entering the speaking zone where we are gonna learn how to speak and how to having the conversation with the passengers or another people in the airport. So the conversation or the question and answer that I write in this lesson is a common question that you will find in all of the airports. So if you're now working at the Juanda airport, probably the question is applicable when you are moving to another airport. So don't be worried. This is a common question that we will learn today. So this question is applicable to all of the airport in Indonesia or outside the country. So these are the questions that it's common for the custom exercise and also the passengers to ask to you. The difference is only the regulation. Probably the regulation in Surabaya or in Bali or in Jakarta will be different. So you have to mind that and you have to remind that. Okay, this common question I distinguish into two different kind of question. The first one is from the officer, which is customs and excise, and then the next one is the questions that will delivered by the passengers. So the questions that will be asked by the officer in the airport is usually about what is your final destinations and how long you will stay in Indonesia, or what is the purpose of your visit, and where will you staying here in Indonesia, and how much currency that you're carrying. It's about the money. And do you have anything to declare and in your bag? It's the question is usually to secure the bags or secure the passengers. So that's why the officer need to ask the passenger, because the duty of the custom is to make sure that the passenger is safety and prohibited to enter the country with checking the bag of the customer or the passengers. So the passenger itself will ask usually a common questions like where to go to the passport control, or how to get to the other terminal building, and where is the exit, and where do I find the check-in counter, and where can I change money, and where can I find the baggage claim, and where can I leave our baggage. This common question, it's very common for you guys to use it in every airport in Indonesia or outside the country. So you can learn and you can remember that these are the questions that you will use it. This is only the questions, and for the next slide, I will tell you guys about the conversation that you can use, or the example of the conversation that you can use to your passengers. Okay, I divided into two different kind of situation. The first situation is when the passenger is not having any problems with the bag or in the luggage. So this is the conversation. So the first things that you have to do is obviously to greet, untuk menyapa dulu the passenger. So you will say good morning, or you say good afternoon, or you can say good day, and then you usually will ask where are you come from. And then after you ask where you come from, the passenger will answer that I come from the United States of America, I come from Malaysia, I come from Canada. So the tips to having question and answer in airport is you have to answer that simple and short, because I know that you guys in custom, you don't have much time to talk with just one passenger, because you have millions or probably 1,000 of passengers in one day. So you have to answer and you have to ask the passenger with short and just simple question and answer. So instead of saying that, oh, I come from United States of America, my city is blah, 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 you can just simply say, I come from USA, I come from Malaysia. Just say the country that you come from. You don't need to mention any other address that you have. And the second common question that will be asked to the passenger is, may I have your passport and visa document and custom declaration, please? If you want to say, may I have your passport, just passport is also okay. But when you need to ask for the visa document or custom declaration that the passenger fill it up in the airplane, you can also ask that in one sentence. So the passenger will give you the passport, the visa document, and also the custom declarations. And usually the passengers will say, sure, here you go, or sure, here it is, or just can simply hand over the passport to you. And then after you got the passport, you can have small talks to have the information from the passengers. For the next question is about the purpose of your visit. So you can ask, what's the nature of your visit? Nature here is not meaning the nature alam. Nature here, it means that the purpose, the aims, or the goals, tujuan. Apa tujuan Anda datang ke sini? What is the nature of your visit? Is it for business or pleasure? For the second sentence about the is it for business or pleasure, you can use that or you cannot use that, it's okay. You can just simply ask what is the nature of your visit. And then the passengers will just say that I'm visiting my relatives. It means that saya mengunjungi keluarga saya di sini. Or you can say another things like I have a business, I have a student exchange, or I have to meet my college in this country. So it's as simple as that. And then the next thing that you need to ask to the passengers is about how long are you going to stay here in Indonesia. If you're working outside the Indonesia, so you can say how long are you going to stay in this country. You can say the specific country or you can say in this country. Or you can also say how long do you intend to stay here in this country. It means that you ask seberapa lama kamu akan tinggal atau kamu akan mengunjungi negara ini. I think that's one of the important questions to ask to the passengers. And the passengers will also simply answer with 2 weeks or just a couple of days or just a month. And then the next one is about where will you be staying in here. When you have a foreign guest or foreign passenger from the other country, you need to know where do they stay while they are in Indonesia or while they are in Surabaya. So you will say, where will you be staying here? And then the passenger will say, I will be staying at the country. I will be staying at hotel. I will be staying at my relative's home. And then the most important things that you need to ask is about something that you bring in their luggage. So you will say, what do you have in your luggage? What do you have in your bag? What do you have inside your bag? So it is important to ask them before you ask them to open the bag for you. It will be polite and will be kind of you to say what you have in your luggage first before you need to open the bag for you. So if the passenger just say that it's just my clothes, laptop, books, and personal belongings, it doesn't mean that it is safe. You need to make sure by saying, please open your bag. And then the customer on the passengers will open the bag for you. If there is no problem inside the bag and there is no problem with the person, they have a very good history, they get very good attitude with you. So you can just say, okay, everything is fine. You can go straight to the exit. This is situation one is where you find a good people that didn't bring any kind of goods that is violent to enter the country. But the second situation here is about the passengers that bring something that is violated or some things that needed to have some kind of regulation on the customs. So the second verse of this is I write it down here. I don't say hello or I don't say good morning. You can say it in the beginning of the conversation, or if you want to go straight, you can just simply say, may I have your passport? And then the passenger will hand over the passport and will say sure. And then what is the purpose of your visit is something that you can left behind. You have to ask every time you meet the passengers in the airport. So the passenger here is having business conference. Outside the business conference, the passenger is also having planned to have a trip outside the island. So the passengers need to explain that to the customs officer. For example, they will say, I'm here for a business conference, then I plan to have a trip outside the islands. In this case, probably the passenger is having business conference in certain city like Jakarta or Yogyakarta or Surabaya. Then the passengers having planned to having trip outside the island. So I think the customs officers need to know that, and then passengers need to declare that. So that's why I write it here. And it is also important for the custom officer to know that the passenger traveling alone, or the passengers is having college or traveling with friends. So you will say that to the passengers, are you traveling alone? If the passenger is traveling alone, you can just simply say that, yes, I am. Or if the passengers is not traveling alone, you can the passengers can say, no, I'm not. I'm here with my college. It's as simple as that. And then the next things that it is important to ask to the passengers is about the occupation of the passengers. So you need to know what is the job of the passengers, what is the occupation, what are the things that they do in their country. So you will say, what is your occupations? And the passenger will say, I am a lecturer in one of the university in Canada, or I'm an accountant in one of the company in my country. So simple as that. And the next thing is how to say to request that to the passengers to open the bag for you. If you want the passengers to open the bag for you to check the luggage, you can say that, would you mind to put your bag and open them for me? That is very nice and very polite for you to ask like that. Instead of the open the bag for me, or please open the bag, you can say, would you mind to put your bag and open them for me? It sounds not simple, but it's polite. So you can choose whether you would say, open the bag for me, or please open the bag for me, or you can say, would you mind to put your bag and open them for me? And in this case, I put that this passengers is having kind of something inside the bag that you need to check it first before they proceed to the next exit door. So the passenger will say, sure, may I know why you need to check my bag? Is there any violation that I did? So the passenger is asking why you should check my bag. Because as a customs officer, you need to check your bag. It's your duty, but probably the passengers didn't know why you should check your bag, because bag is considered as a private thing for the passengers from the people outside the country. So you need to understand and you need to explain why you need to check their bag. So you would say, certain goods are not allowed and some needed a legal permission. Every passenger from abroad are obligated to declare all the belongings from abroad in customs declaration, including personal medication, food, beverage, and money. So you will say, do you have anything to declare? The question, do you have anything to declare, is to state that is the passenger having something that needed to be checked by the custom officer? If yes, then the passengers will declare that. Whether the passengers is bringing it's like whiskey or wine or cigarettes, a lot of money, you can say that. And then if the case is passengers is say like that, I have 3 bottles of whiskey. Is there any problem? Because some of the passengers doesn't know the regulation of the custom in every country that they will visit it. They don't know about that, so you can explain to them regarding to the custom regulation. Alcoholic beverage is only allowed 1 liter per adult passengers, and it is only allowed only for 21 years old above. If you bring more than 1 liter, it will be directed and required to be destroyed. Probably it is the example. So when the customers are having more than 1 liter of wine or whiskey or any other alcoholic beverage, they need to know that it is a violation and it is need to be destroyed by the customs officer. Okay, any other food and beverage that allowed to enter the custom officer? It's this. I found 3 of them by looking at the internet about the custom excise. If you're probably having any kind of different source, you can say to me in the comments, or probably that this something that I read here is not correct or not 100% correct. Please just let me know. But here I found that certain goods or beverage is still restricted and prohibited to be brought as a passenger's good from abroad. So there are some type of the food and beverage that is not allowed to enter the country, such as alcoholic beverage that I have mentioned before. And the second one is cigarettes. Cigarettes is only allowed 200 cigarettes, and also it's only allowed for 18 years old above, and they also raw food, including vegetables, fruit, seed, and meat. It requires permission from the quarantine first before you enter the Indonesia. So this kind of 3 food and beverage is something that you need to aware, and something that you could learn how to say that in front of the passengers. If you have another food and beverage, including except this kind of thing that I write here, you can add it more. But this is that I found in the regulation of the custom excise. And I will also explain about the money, because money is something that is also important to be aware from the passengers. So you can say that please be considered in bringing cash money. So every passenger from abroad who bring cash with value more than 100 rupiahs, or approximately $7,000 is obligated to declare it first in the custom declarations. Okay, that is the 2 kind of different situations that I have mentioned and I have explained before. And this is the tips for having conversation in the airport. So after I have a discussion and I observe about having conversation in the airport, and I found something that I needed to deliver, and how to have conversation in the airport is very good. The first one is I have explained, use only short and simple question and answer. This kind of tips is applicable for you guys as a custom officer, or when you are as the passengers of the airplane. So use only short and simple question and answers. And as the custom officer, you need also to read the regulation first before you talk to the passengers, because by understanding the regulation, you are clearly can deliver the regulation itself to the other passengers, so the passengers will know what you're talking about, and the passengers will understand and will obey the regulations that you explain. And the third one is just keep calm and don't be nervous. Some of the passengers in airport see that custom officer is something that is very tense and very strict, and they are afraid to answer the question from the custom. So that's why for both custom officers and also passengers, you need to keep calm and don't be nervous. And the last one is don't forget to greet the passengers, or the passengers is also don't forget to greet the custom officers. Okay, that's probably all of the material today for the conversation and enriching the vocabularies. For the next, I will ask one of you guys to give an example to have a conversation between custom officer and the passengers. Would you mind to try? Any one of you would like to try to demonstrate the conversation in this airport? I will be the passengers and one of you will be act as the custom officer in the airport. Is there any one of you who would to volunteer to try to demonstrate this? You can read the situation. So you can, I don't ask you to make another conversation from yourself, but you can just read the situation one, and I will help you as the passengers, and you will be the custom officers. Is there any one of you who want to try with me?
Miss Nina,
Yes.
Mr. Andre seems raised his hand.
Okay. Mr. Andre. Would you like to try with me?
Okay, I want to try.
Okay. Yes. So I will be the passengers and you will be the custom officers. Are you ready?
Yes. Okay, I'm ready.
Yeah. Yes, you can start now.
So I go first. Good morning. Where are you from? Good morning, sir. Where are you from?
I come from Indonesia.
Okay. May I have your passport and visa document and customs declaration, please?
Sure. Here you are.
Okay. Okay. So wait, you say you come from Indonesia, right? Okay.
Yes.
What's the nature of your visit? Is it for business or pleasure?
I have a student exchange here in Indonesia.
Okay. So, do you have anything to declare on your luggage? What do you have in your luggage, please? What do you have?
I have my clothes, laptops, books, and
Okay.
personal belongings in my luggage.
Okay. So, please open your bag.
Sure.
Okay, let me check. Well, you can wait a moment.
Yes.
Okay,
Do you
everything
have-
is fine. You
Yes.
can go straight to the exit.
Thank you very much. Okay,
You're
it's
welcome.
very good example from Mas Andi
Thank
Susanto. Thank you very
you.
much for trying to have conversation with me. And then the second situation, I will also invite one of you guys to try it with your partner. So if the situation one, I help you as the passengers. For the situation two, you have to need your partner. So I will invite two of you guys to having this kind of situation and conversation. Would you like to try with your college?
Miss
I
Nina,
need to volunteers now. Yes?
yeah, Miss Eva. Miss Eva seems want to try in the conversation.
Okay, so Miss Eva is the first person who would like to try, and then I need the second person. Is there any one of you?
Or maybe Mr. Andrew want to try it again, or there is someone else who want to try it. Please raise your hand or simply give a comment in the column chat.
Okay, so I think I will help Miss Eva to do situation 2. Is that okay,
So,
Miss Eva?
yeah.
Okay, you can do the custom officers.
Okay. May I have your passport?
Sure, here you go.
What's purpose of your visit?
I'm here for a business conference and I plan to have a trip outside the island.
Are you traveling alone?
No, I am not. I'm here with my college.
What is your occupation?
I'm a lecturer in one of the university in Canada.
Okay, would you mind to put your bag and open them for me?
Sure. But may I know why you need to check my bag? Is there any violation that I did?
Certain goods are not allowed and some needed legal permission. Every passenger from abroad are obligated to declare all of the belongings from abroad in customs declarations, including personal, medication, food, beverage, money. Do you have anything to declare?
Oh, if that's a problem, I have 3 bottles of whiskey. Is there any problem with that?
Regarding to the customs regulation, alcoholic beverage is only allowed 1 liter per adult passenger, and that's only for 21 years old above. If you bring more than 1 liter, it will be directed and required to be destroyed.
Okay, thank you very much, Miss Eva. I really like how you pronounce your English. It's very good. Thank you. Okay, I think that is the end of my lessons today. For the next things that we can share and we can have discussions about the things that you need to know for the lessons of the vocabularies and also having conversation in the airport. Okay, you have the comments to ask something, please, you can write it down or you can speak to the microphone.
I think PKC 3 raised her hand.
Yeah.
Miss
Would
Ulan,
you mind
maybe?
to open your video and then deliver your questions? Or you can write it down in the comment.
Ya, selamat pagi Mbak Nina.
Selamat pagi.
Ya, sing bertanya Mbak, ada 2 pertanyaan sih. Firstly, I think we need to learn and practice thematic English, especially in law and economic terms, because I experienced myself that we will meet such kind of situation and difficulties actually. Firstly, we don't know how to make formal email or official letter or report in English, and we don't have the really English version of regulation and constitution of customs and excise. Secondly, we cannot speak fluently when it comes with law or economics or finance context, whereas we as custom officers, we encounter those kind of terms every day, but ironically we lack of that skills and proficiency of that. Would you please give us a recommendation where we can study or learn such a thematic English, like English for law, finance, business, economics, or even national defense or security? The second question is, how can we overcome our feeling from being shameful and inferior when we're speaking English with foreigners? Because based on my experience when I worked in airport, I've encountered some foreigners from non-English speaking countries such as Germany, Norway, Italy, and France. And I think they don't speak English that good either. And it intrigues my mind. For example, the Indian or Singaporean, they're considered as okay to speak English with their funny accent. But why we as Indonesian feel ashamed to speak with our local wisdom accent? Please give us your thought. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's very good questions. I will answer that one by one. Okay, if you want to learn thematics about law and economics terms, I can give you a recommendation letter. I will write it down to Miss Nisa probably, and I will give the source to have a thematic about the laws and economic terms. And then the second question is about how to write a formal email, because you guys probably don't have it the lesson of writing and also sending a formal email in English. So that is very good idea. I will probably deliver that in the next lessons. Thank you very much for the thoughts and idea. And then the third one is how to overcome your fear. Well, because I know that some of people here in Indonesia are still afraid to speak in front of people. But in fact, we have a good listening and also reading sections, but we are afraid to speak in front of people. The reason why is that happens is because I will say it again, English is not our mother language, and we are not accustomed to say or to learn or speak English for our daily basis. So it needs to train. We need to train to speak English from the very beginning. School or junior high. I still consider English is not a very important lessons or very important language to learn. And I think that's why we are different from Singapore, India, and Malaysia. They are considered English as the second language of their country. That's why they are able to speak, and they are confidently speak in English in front of people, whether it's in airport or any kind of situation. So my advice to improve your speaking skills or output skill is to train more to speak English with your partner or with your friends, or even with the foreigner or the person from native speaker that you met in airport. That could help you to improve your English. English, it's easy for us to understand if it is applicable in our daily basis. So if we learn English day by day, or we put English as our routine to learn about our English ability in listening, other skills that we need to learn. Thank you very much for ask or having thoughts or idea or just share with us here. So you said susah dapat partner lokal, semoga dapat mata bule ya Mbak. Oh, that's very funny. Yeah. In my experience, I was before I work in this ministry, I work in my university in Office of International Affairs, where I had the opportunity to meet foreigners, guest lecturers, or students from outside the country. So I met the foreigner all over the world. There, I train my English every day. I use English every day in office. So that's what makes me feel that, oh, English is important, because if we want to communicate with other people from the other country, we not only need to understand what they are saying, but we need also to understand, we have to make sure that they also understand what we're saying. So that's two important things that we need to understand. Okay, the questions from Pak Anton Tanmuji. When we saying it is luggage or baggage or shuttle, what is the difference of them? Okay, luggage is basically your bag, koper, atau tas jinjing atau apapun. It is luggage. But baggage is something that is put into the baggage. So that's why we say baggage claim, not luggage claim. Baggage is your bag or your luggage that is located, or you put it into the baggage. So that's the difference. Jadi luggage itu bisa tas, bisa koper, bisa anything that you have in your own. Tapi baggage adalah tas atau sesuatu yang Bapak Ibu letakkan di bagasi. Itulah kenapa di airport adanya baggage claim atau tempat untuk ngeklaim bagasi Bapak Ibu. Seperti itu. That is the difference from the luggage and the baggage. Thank you for Pak Anton for the questions. Okay. Is there any one of you who want to share or discuss about something that is happening in the airport, or maybe you need to ask you want to tell your experience in the airport of dealing with passengers from the other countries?
Miss Nina?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll try to ask something.
Sure.
Yeah. So it will be easy if the foreigner understand about the regulation. But if there are there are some annoying foreigner who refuse the regulation, it will be complicated, of course. So what we have to do in that situation? So I mean, in our limited vocabularies, what do we have to explain to the foreigner?
Okay, thank you for the questions. I know that some of the foreigners or this passenger is not always good and having attention to obey the rules or regulation that we explain to them. The first reason is that maybe they don't understand. And the second one is the regulation is not the same here in Indonesia and back in their country. So for example, in Indonesia, as we said before, that only 1 liter of the alcoholic beverage is allowed. On the other hand, in Australia, in United States of America, in Canada, or any other countries, is having a different regulations. So that's why our regulation in Indonesia is different. So we have to explain that. But beside of that, if you have any kind of social media or you have website on your own, you can write it down there, the regulation that you have from your customer size. For example, you are from Bea Cukai Kanwil 1 Jawa Timur, you have your website in the internet, so you can put it there, the regulations for having certain food and beverage, which one is allowed and which one is not allowed. So the foreigners will read it before they go to our country. So it is kind of a preparation for them to need to know the regulation first before they enter the country. I experienced that for the foreigners, if we need to talk about the regulation, it will be so complicated for them to understand the regulation itself. But if we can transfer the regulation into some kind of simple and short way that they will understand. For example, that I said that you can put it in the website, which one is allowed and which one is not allowed, you can do it. It can help the foreigners that will enter the country to understand the situation of it. I think that's the answer. Okay, I will read the comment here. Paling enak dapat foreigner dari Jerman atau Jepang, pinter-pinter, patuh-patuh, nggak rewel dan cepat beres. That's true. I also have the same experience of having Germany and Japanese person. From my experience, the people from German and Japan is very polite, and they always listening to our talk, listening to our explanation when we have to explain something, because they also applied the same regulation or maybe the same strict regulation in their country. So that's why you can say foreigner dari Jepang atau Jerman itu pintar dan patuh-patuh, because they learn that and they have the regulation and good regulation in their country. Paling rewel PAX Indonesia, kayaknya patuh di mancanegara, masuk negara sendiri suka ngajak perang. Okay, that was new for me. I don't know about this before. Okay, the next one is the question from Mbak Wi Biastika. My tongue is often twisted when I have to mention the amount of the tax bill in rupiahs. Like, can you give some tips? Okay, the numbering and how you pronounce that is another level to have to learn English. If you want to say the number in English, you have to train precisely how to say that and write it down in your notebook. For me, personally, I also still have the problems to mention any kind of numbering or any kind of amount and currency in Indonesia or in English. So my advice will be train yourself to have more numbers and more currency in your books, and train that to say in English. Okay, the next one is Nur Cahyo. Izin menambahkan, menurut saya kata yang tepat untuk kata directed pada conversation terakhir tadi saat memberitahu kelebihan MMA akan di tengah adalah confiscated. Okay, thank you very much. You can also change the word directed into confiscated. It is having the same meaning, so you can change that if you are having the conversation with the foreigners in the airport. Thank you very much, Pak Nur Cahyo. Okay, so Miss Nisa is mentioned that she has experience to explain the regulation. It's not very easy to them for understanding our regulation. That was one of the problems that you guys have in airport. But is there any of you are having this any kind of other problems that you find in airport, or you experience something different other than explaining the regulation? Okay, Mbak Debbie, you raise your hand. Do you have anything to say or anything to discuss? You can use the microphone.
Good morning, Anin.
Good morning.
Actually, I'm not here to sharing anything. Well, it's really
Mhm.
nice to see you sharing this kind of information with us. Thank you for that. Although I want to ask, well, more like asking for tips. We have been known that a lot of passengers that coming to Indonesia has been spending a lot of time on the plane, and whenever they are landing in here, they have this grumpy face on them, which means they're tired, maybe too tired to even communicate with us. So do you have any kind of tips for us as a customs officer to face those kind of passenger and having them want to cooperate with us? I think that's my question.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, for the situation that Mbak Depe explains, that is also kind of problems that the passenger had with their own. Probably they have long flights, they are tired, and they have certain situation that we don't know about that in the airplane. And then when it comes to the custom officer and the check-in in the airport, they will feel grumpy and they will feel exhausted and etc. And for that case, I will probably give advice to just give them a greet, and you can also have a compliment for them before you start the conversation. Maybe before you say hello, you can say, do you have a good day? Do you have a nice and good flight during in the airplanes? Or you can just simply say, you look beautiful today, and you can say welcome to Indonesia. And you can also say is any kind of phrase like, is this your first time to go to Indonesia, something like that. Why I say that? Because a compliment can make people reducing their tense, because when you understand people are having so much rough and hard time in the airplane during the flight, once they are going to the airport building, you can help them to compliment them, to greet them before you speak and having conversation, or maybe check their bag. Giving compliments or giving something to say before you start the conversation will help them to relax, will help them to feel that I saved here, will help they feel that, oh, Indonesian people is very polite, they have a good service in the airport. So they will feel that it is very good, and they have a very good time in the airport. Because the face, because I think the face of the country is the airport itself. If the foreigner or the passengers feel that they are comfortable with the situation in the airport, and they are comfortable with the officer, with all the people in the airport, they will feel the same thinking about the countries that they entered. So that's my answers. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Ina, for the valuable knowledge and insight. Is there still any comments, questions, or anything for all of you? So don't be afraid to speak. There is no wrong or right, Ms. Nina.
Yes.
Right?
we discuss here together. There is no right or wrong answers. We can share experience. We can share our thoughts, idea, or other knowledge that you guys have. So all of my advice and tips that I explained to Debbie or any other questions that are written in the comment is not only applicable in the airport. You can see the similar situation outside the airport. You probably work in the workplace that you meet passengers or meet other people from the outside the country. So you can also use that and apply it to the your workplace.
Let me ask again, is there any comment or question that will be delivered to Miss Nina or maybe other participant here? So if there is no comment or question, so maybe we have to end this meeting. It's okay, Miss Nina? If there
Yeah, if you have any further discussions or any kind of idea or thoughts about the next lesson that we should have in this meeting, you can probably deliver to Miss Nisa, or you can probably deliver it to me. If you have my number, it's feel free to have a discussion outside this meeting.
Ya, thank you Miss Nina. Terima kasih banyak atas ilmu yang sangat bermanfaat dan sharing knowledge-nya untuk kita semua. Tentunya kita mendapat banyak sekali insight, knowledge baru tentang percakapan di airport dan beberapa kosakata baru. Setelah ini akan kami share materi yang tadi Miss Nina paparkan. Di situ ada beberapa vocabularies yang sering kita temui di airport. Bapak dan Ibu bisa menghafalkan atau mungkin dibaca berulang kali, nanti akan lama-lama hafal sendiri gitu ya Miss Nina ya. Terima kasih Bapak dan Ibu sekalian atas partisipasinya. Kami ingatkan sekali lagi untuk mengisi presensi yang telah kami cantumkan pada tautan serbaguna. Jika sudah tidak ada yang ingin ditambahkan lagi dari Bapak dan Ibu sekalian, saya Fahrunisa selaku MC pamit undur diri. Mohon maaf apabila ada salah-salah kata. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam. See you guys.
Oh, smiles, I know what it takes to fool this town. I'll do it till the sun goes down and all through the night time. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Tell you what you wanna hear. Leave my sunglasses on while I shed a tear. It's never the right time. I know, I've heard that to let your feeling go is the only way to make friendships grow, but I'm too afraid now. Oh yeah, I put my arm around, show you how strong I am. I put my arm around, I'll show you that I am. I'm unstoppable, I'm a boxer with no brakes. I'm invincible, I win every single game. I'm so powerful, I don't need batteries to play. I'm so confident, yeah, I'm unstoppable today. Unstoppable today, yeah. Unstoppable today. Unstoppable today. I'm unstoppable today. Unstoppable today, yeah. unstoppable today, unstoppable today. I'm unstoppable today. I know I've heard that to let your feeling go is the only way to make friendships grow, but I'm too afraid now. Oh yeah, I put my arm around, show you how strong I am. I put my arm around, I'll show you that I am. I'm unstoppable. I'm a person with no brakes. I'm invincible. I win every single game. I'm so powerful. I don't need batteries to play. I'm so confident. Yeah, I'm unstoppable today. Unstoppable today. Yeah. Unstoppable today. Unstoppable today. I'm unstoppable today. Unstoppable today. Yeah. Unstoppable today. Unstoppable today. I'm unstoppable today.
Langit berubah kelabu ketika tangis mulai beradu. Tak kering pipi diseka bayu, tak usai merintih walau dalam dekap ibu. Langit perlahan menghitam, pandangan mata kian buram, mencari jalan di tengah kekalutan, sedang bintang tak kunjung datang.
I put my arm around, show you how strong I am. I put my arm around, I'll show you that I am. I'm unstoppable. I'm a person with no brakes. I'm invincible. I win every single game. I'm so powerful.
Ingin kucuri matahari, biar langit segera pagi. Tapi siang berkata, pikirkan lagi, sebab esok masih ada hari-hari, terkecuali integritas telah mati.
Break down, only alone I will cry on now. You'll never see what's hiding out, hiding on deep down. Hey, hey, I know I've heard that to let your feelings go is the only way to make friendships grow, but I'm afraid now. Hey, hey, I put my arm around, show you how strong I am. I put my arm around, I'll show you that I am. I'm unstoppable. I'm a person with no brakes. I'm invincible. Yeah, I win every single game. I'm so powerful. I don't need batteries to play. I'm so confident. Yeah, I'm unstoppable today. Unstoppable today. Yeah. Unstoppable today. Unstoppable today. I'm unstoppable today. Unstoppable today. Yeah. Unstoppable today. Unstoppable today. I'm unstoppable today. I put my arm around, show you how strong I am. I put my arm around, I'll show you that I am. I'm unstoppable. I'm a person with no brakes. I'm
I'm invincible. Yeah, I win every single day. I'm so powerful. I don't need batteries to play. I'm so confident. Yeah, I'm unstoppable today. Unstoppable today. Unstoppable today. Unstoppable today. I'm unstoppable today. Unstoppable today. Unstoppable today. Unstoppable today. I'm unstoppable today.
Mohon izin Bapak dan sekalian, Zoom meeting akan kami